that new one. Okay, so last few comments देखे थे मैंने. I think there is some queries related to the APIs that I will go and explain, and some kind of a career counseling as well. I mean, how that business analyst. I mean, if you are in the other domain, and how you can bring your career into the BA role. Okay, so we'll talk one by one. One question I got, like API integration point of this kind of questions. I think someone has been asked in that interview. So definitely, I'm going to talk on that. Let me read out that comment first. I'm just opening it. Uh, what was that? Okay, integration testing. So yeah, so the question was, I mean, is how that you perform integration testing. Integration testing means API integration testing. There is no system integration testing, API integration testing. Altogether, it's locked. Two systems need to be connected to one system. That's how that integration testing comes in place. So suppose you are consuming any services from any other system. Okay. Example, location services you are capturing, a GIS, GPS technology services you are capturing, you are consuming from any other system in your, you are a kind of Swiggy. So Swiggy is using that GPS technology, right, to track their food services. You can track where their Swiggy person has reached at this point. So these are they use the GPS technology services. So they can use Google, or I think India also has launched its own private GPS technology, so that you can, that's a lot of cost you have to pay that, okay, license and all that based on the consumption. So how you will do the testing? So the testing means you have done that at the integration with that GPS technology. Then you will see if you are passing some parameters. So API testing as well always go with the input parameter and then output parameter. So input means you are passing some values to that system. The API will take your input. Since that other external system is now is integrated, so API will take this input to this system, and based on your input request, it will search, find out the values exist in this system, and if it is, it will return with the values. Otherwise, it will return null values. It's very simple thing. I went to Kirana shop. I asked something. If he is having, he will give me. I will pay back. If he doesn't have, he will say, "Oh, boss, I don't have this item." Simple thing. Okay. So integration testing is kind of thing is generally it is being performed by the system. There is a separate team, or QA also perform sometimes, and developer also perform at the different level. They do this testing. So developer do that during the code. Once they develop that API, they host that API. They done that handshake with that two different systems, and then see, they also validate whether the input and output is exchanging the values between these two systems or not. Okay. So system integration testing is something, is you can call it system integration testing, SIT, or integration testing. Both are the same thing, and it is happening through the API only. API is the mediator. Okay. So what you can do that, you will be having some scenarios. So first scenario is what, you will be passing some I pass first name. It is returning that first name or not. First of all, the availability of that system, that you have some cases, you can have some cases, system availability of that system. Your system will be available because you are the requester, but that system is promptly and readily available 24 into 7, 99%, 99% accuracy ke saath mein, that system is available or not. System availability. So that testing you will be having some cases. Rest of what kind of test cases? You're passing some values, whether the system is able to understand your values or not. So a kind of a JSON or XML format. So that during the handshake model, they say, okay, we will request you in JSON format, and please you also provide the values in the JSON format only. Okay, yeah. So JSON format only. So that you, because you might have the database tables where you are going to store these values. So and then your table you have designed, how you will be reading these values from the received system is the JSON. So your system is developed in a way it can read the JSON values. So once we receive the value in the form of a JSON, your system is already equipped with that. It can easily read, it can easily correlate this value will go and sit into which of my table and under which columns. Okay. So two things I told here: system integration testing, that's external system availability, and the values you are passing, it is responding in you the appropriate expected way or not. Correct. So you will be having n number of questions, n number of scenarios you can have to validate these things. Okay. Load testing, this is also kind of. So 10 request is coming to 10 requests are going to the target system. Okay, the system is on the GPS. Suppose GPS. So there are 10 systems, different systems are approaching to deep GPS service for that GPS location tracker services. Is that system able to provide its services to all these 10 requester uninterruptedly and flawlessly, right? So this is the load testing you will perform. Okay, so availability testing, data validation testing, and then now load testing. Got it right? So load testing you will bombard with your request, multiple API call to that system. Is it able to? It's a management of that external system. How it will take your multiple request. I have sent 10 requests. Is it? It is taking first request, process, respond back. It will pick. So it has to organize. That's the target system has to organize your request in a way chronological order. So it will take you FIFA, first in, first out. So first request, process, return back. Second process, second request, process, return. Third request, process, return. So until unless it will keep on in the stack, and it will take as a FIFA model. Okay. Other way, it can also do a batch process. The batch process means you send 10 requests with, so it will be having a time clock. So it will wait in 10 second how many request is coming, it will create a batch, and then until unless it doesn't process all these 10 requests, and it collect the response, it will not you send the response back. So you will expect a response after it process all 10 requests, then you will get a response for all these requests in a one time. That's called batch process. Okay. So in the previous one, it was first you keep on sending and it is keep on responding you also. For one request, you will get response. Second, you keep on sending, you keep on receiving also, like that. Okay. So these are two approaches that you can follow. Okay. Uh, Another thing is Rahul. Yeah, hi Rahul. Listen, I got to. Sorry to hear, boss. So I received the first offer. Oh, congratulations. The first offer since I don't know offers, but this is not suspect. Okay. If the got an offer for joining, please mention me what least level of experience you have and how many organizations you have changed so far. See, generally, if you do frequent changes, at least I have done, because of these some or other conditions. If companies are not paying the salaries in time, or you are not getting satisfactory compensation and all that, definitely it's It's you are the person who can take a decision, no one else. See, companies also, if they don't need you, they simply say, boss, we don't have any project. Please search around. Just please put a paper, or they will themselves, like you said, right, laid off, lot of laid offs. So we also think in that way. Okay, we know what kind of needs we have. We have a house loan, we have a daily, expenditures, food, ये वो दुनिया के होते हैं भाई साहब. तो आपको मालूम है कि आपको अपना घर चलाने के लिए कितने पैसे की जरूरत है. आपको उसमें सेविंग भी करनी है. हम लोग की गवर्नमेंट जॉब तो है नहीं भाई, एक 50-55 साल तक काम कर पाएंगे आज की फूड और ये सब हैबिट की वजह से. तो हमको उतने समय में ये सब भी कर लेना है, बच्चे की पढ़ाई भी कर लेनी है, शादी ब्याह भी कर देना है, इसके बाद भैया कुछ सेविंग्स भी करनी है अपने बुढ़ापे के लिए. अमेरिका तो है नहीं कि हमको पेंशन मिलेगी. यहाँ तो क्या ही पेंशन मिलती, 500 रुपए सोचते हैं वो बहुत अच्छा हो गया, 1000 रुपए. क्या होता है वृद्धा पेंशन? पेंशन वो कुछ नहीं होता. ठीक है ना. तो हमको जो एक्सपेंडिचर देखना है आगे का 50,000, अगर हमको पेंशन नहीं आएगी तो दाल रोटी खाना मुश्किल हो जाएगा, दवाइयों खर्चा. तो आप ज्वाइन कर लो. अगर आपको लगता है कि हाँ आप थोड़ा और वेट करके, वहां पे नोटिस पीरियड कितना है आप थोड़ा बताइए, जो नई कंपनी में आप जा रहे हो. अगर वहां पर प्रोबेशन पीरियड है और वहां पर नोटिस पीरियड जैसे कि 15 दिन या 1 महीने का है, तो आप उसको ज्वाइन कर लो. और आप जिस पेस में आप अपना 60 डेज प्रोबेशन पीरियड में 60 डेज, प्रोबेशन पीरियड में 60 डेज कौन रखता है यार. अगर है भी तो इट सीम्स काइंड ऑफ अ गुड कंपनी यार. मे बी आई थिंक यू आर लुकिंग फॉर द काइंड ऑफ अ कंपनसेशन. ओके, बट इट्स योर. ओके, सो कम 30 days, right? So yes, please go ahead with that. You can go ahead with that. um, uh, and I'm telling you, if you have done so many changes in your career, so many companies, then you can also wait for some more time, 1 or 2 months more, and then you will make it ready to join kind of thing. Okay, that will that will give you a benefit of not showing multiple companies changes in your resume, right? Okay, so if you have, because this time is coming actually, February is going on, right? March and April and May, these 3 months will be peak for the these kind of job switching and all. You will get a lot of opportunities. Okay, so definitely they will prefer who are ready to join kind of thing. So if you have that opportunity, you don't have so much these loan and all that. If you can wait 1-2 months, you can wait, search for another better thing, and you can show to that organization. If they ask, do you have any offer, you can say, yes, I have this offer, and because of these reasons, compensation and all, I'm not willing to join, so I'm looking for compensation at this moment. And then company culture and all that, you can just add these things also. Okay, so two options you have. If you don't have so much burden on your thing, like financial burden, then you can wait for another 1 or 2 months, search same, put 4-5 hours daily in searching and applying only. You will definitely break things. Okay, you will find a good job. Okay, your satisfactory job. Okay, but if you think you cannot wait, you need some money, has to flow, right? It has to come. You cannot regulate your financial requirements, commitments. Please join that organization, because it will, you will be getting the salaries and all that. And then, since 30 days is the notice period time, I think I believe it for 3 months or 6 months, I don't know, you can mention also, so it will be clear to me. So probation period is for 3 months or 6 months, Rahul? 3 months. So 3 months is enough time. You can definitely 1 month notice. They will definitely accept it. I believe. I believe. Okay, so you can join that, and then keep on searching with the same pace. If you're not getting time in a day because of that new company works and all that, you should be spending your nights lates, and keep on applying, boss. Okay, no other shortcut. And then you can say, I joined this organization. Somebody ask, oh, you just joined, why you are switching? Oh, I was not expecting that kind of work environment, or the other things. You can just tell. Okay, so I'm looking for any better opportunity. Okay, So if they need, they will take you. If they doesn't want, definitely they will. You are so much expert, so whatever they will not take you. So this is kind of a little bit luck. Also, I feel the right moment, right organization have that kind of a requirement which match to your skills, and then you got that opportunity, and then everything goes smooth. Otherwise, I have seen people are struggling so long. Sometimes it's based on their luck factor and all that. Okay. So I will say go and join that. I don't know what kind of things are hurdling you to not preferring that opportunity. But if you don't have any other option, go and join that, and then keep on looking for another job. No problem at all. It's your thing. Okay. You work for 6 months, 8 months, switch another job. What is the problem? There is no problem as long as you are able to you having the skills, right skills. There is no problem at all. Okay. Hey Rashekar, hi, good morning. Yeah, thanks for joining. What is this SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS? Oh yeah, SaaS. See, SaaS is the software as a services. The classic example, when we do the SaaS based model, when you any organization, if they looking for any software, but they don't have money or time and resources to set up this infra, the licenses, the servers and production servers environments and everything, then they what they do, they just buy laptops and systems for their people who would supposed to work, right, laptop or systems, and they just go for any license based SaaS models products. Example, your SAP, Oracle, Amazon cloud services, my Salesforce. Okay, so these are the SaaS based products. What they do, if you are a manufacturing organization and you need a solution to really streamline your manufacturing process, so and you're looking for a software so that it will bring up the accuracy and transparency in your organization, in your production organization. So you can contact the Salesforce or SAP, material management and supply chain management, manufacturing domain. They will be having a modules. They will deploy that based on, they will soon do some customization based on your inputs. They will connect and they will take input and they will customize and they will simply deploy. They will give you the login, simple. And the login you can know from any system as long as your credentials are valid, and they will charge you based on the number of either two cases based on a login, one login, whatever you want to do throughout these module functionalities, let you do, but annually per login you will have to pay the $100 or $1,000. That's the contract, or based on the transaction. So irrespective, any number of people are login, they will keep on giving you logins. Basically, they will give you the admin credits. You can create your login, but the number of transactions you are making in that system, they will charge based on that. So it's based on either login based or the transaction based, the volume. This is the SaaS based. PaaS generally apply where there is a platform as a service. Okay, so you're having, so everything software you will develop in a SaaS. You didn't develop the software, right? It is readily come to you, right? Material management module and all that. But in PaaS, they are saying we want to develop our software as per our requirement. We have the right team with us, software developer, architect, everybody is there in place, SQL developers and everything. We want to develop it, but we don't have a kind of a platform. When we say platform, it's the infra plus the virtual machines, the operating systems, and then these other kind of licenses, tools and licenses, .NET framework, and then cloud, storage and all that. They don't have platform. So what they say, please give us some platform. These people also give you the PaaS-based platform also. The Microsoft Azure gives this opportunity to you. Microsoft Azure gives that opportunity to you. You can develop and you just you can create n number of virtual machines, everything, right? They will be giving you the this kind of thing. What do you call that? NoSQL database, scalable, high availability, auto scaling, Everything will be there. You don't need to bother about purchasing these all infra hardware and all virtual machines. No need. No need to purchase any software licensing and everything. They will give you, but you have to develop. You have to develop first, deploy into their systems, validate that, and then you can move it to production for end user consumption, end user users. Correct? I hope I'm clear little bit, right? So SaaS and PaaS are clear. SaaS, everything readily start consuming. PaaS, you will develop, but rest of things they will provide. You can buy it from Amazon Web Services or Azure, infra and virtual machines and licensing cost, and they will also charge you based on the transaction base or license based. Okay, they also charge. They're having very detailed, like cost capturing mechanism. I have seen that. If you go to the Azure, this one, what do you call that? Premium account, you see their cost calculation is so amazing, actually. So amazing, I think. Every time, the moment you can just need to refresh, it will tell you at that moment how much accrued up. So if you have to cut down some of the services, you see is not getting benefit. We don't need any particular virtual machine. We have to shut down this virtual machine, or we have to reduce our storage cost and all that. You can do at a moment of time. You don't need to do. You don't need to basically see. That's the benefit of this pass and SaaS, right? You don't need to purchase because you are not purchasing anything, right? So that's the problem with the IaaS, infrastructure as a services. Infrastructure as a services means you will get the infra. When you say infra, means the hardware, the hardware, the backend thing, the servers and all. The servers and all you will get, but .NET framework licenses, cloud licensing, and everything you have to purchase. So this is the layer you can see. The bottom layer is IaaS, infrastructure as a service. Above to that, which is covering your core hardware related things, servers and all that, virtual machines. Pass. It is having these bottom one plus some licensing cost also. And the top one is the SaaS, which is having hardware, virtual machines, licensing, and even software also. So you don't need to do anything. So in IaaS, basically, you will be having virtual machines and all for deployment, but licensing cost you have to bear, and software also you have to develop. Okay, so this is the basic description of these three kind of a SaaS infrastructure, or SaaS as a services, or platform as a services model. Okay. Actually, it depends. It is company to company, Raj. Which one best while we start a project. If you don't have a money, if you don't have a money to purchase these big servers, invest a lot of amount in that, you can go definitely with the pass model. Okay. If you don't have any development team also to develop a software, go with your SaaS model. It will give readily everything. Start consuming from day one. Okay. There is a problem, actually. IaaS, the infrastructure as a services, which comes with a huge security. If you have your own servers, you can apply your restricted policy at maximum level. So there are some good things, there are pros and cons in each of these things. Okay, we can easily find on the Google and all that. Okay, but if you're a startup, and you don't have so much amount of to invest in your infrastructure and everything, go with the PaaS model, go with the SaaS model. Okay, slowly you have 4 or 5 members team. Slowly they will start. You give them requirement. They will start developing the software in the way you want. So your operation also started through SaaS model. You have one R&D team, form R&D team. They will because now do, your system is like, or you're operationalized, and parallelly you are developing your software also, so that the moment you will be scaling here, you can decrease the SaaS model functionalities. So the cost will be keep on reducing from the size SaaS license, and this keep growing. And then once you develop everything, tested, validated everything, you just shut down the SaaS model which you have purchased a license base, and then you deploy your things from your side. Okay, these are company strategies basically how they want to do. Okay, VBCS, I don't have any clue what does it mean. If you can elaborate me the something, what is that? Can you please elaborate that VBCS full form? Then I can, yeah. MySQL need for business analysis nowadays. SQL they are asking actually. So in practical scenario, you may or may not get chance to work on the SQL for sure, but they are asking the questions, especially the companies like Accenture, the Cognizant, the Deloitte. These are the financial based organizations. They definitely ask, and then the Flipkart, Amazon, 100% they will ask. Okay, because their work basically stick to that kind of a data analytics only. You have to play with the data from Excel or from the backend databases side. Okay, so little bit exposure you should be having, like a simple insert query, update query, create table, drop table, update table. Okay, these kind of things, and then some kind of what do you call that, joins, inner join, outer join, right? These kind of things you can play around. But the problem is this, you will learn. You might have cracked the interview also. They might have asked you the questions, you told them. But if you don't get opportunity to work for 3 months or 4 months down the line, you will forget these things. You'll forget that parameters you passing in the select query and all that. That's a big challenge actually. So if you keep on, you get engaged in that work, you will keep on refreshing your skills in that SQL queries, and that will remember forever. But if you learn, you didn't get chance for 4 or 5 months, it will be vanished. Simple. This all happened with me as well. Okay, so what is that? I hope, I don't know whether the question who has asked banking domain कहाँ से सीखे, ये एक बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन था, मैंने रिप्लाई भी किया था चैट में. बट आप इसको समझिए ऐसे कि बैंकिंग डोमेन आप कहाँ से सीखोगे यार. अगर आपको काम करने को मौका मिला, मैंने मेरे बहुत अच्छे मेरे जूनियर्स थे कॉलेज के, उनको पहले प्रोजेक्ट ही बैंकिंग का मिल गया, वो भी सैप का मिल गया, सैप फिको फ्रेशर. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि वो लोग को ट्रेनिंग मिलेगा सैप फिको मॉडल में काम करने का, और दे विल गेट एक्सपर्टाइज इन 6 months or 8 months down the line, and they will be in high demand in the market. That's all pure luck. Correct. Second way, you go with the financial kind of management courses. You learn the core skills, and then you have to then start applying that positions for the financial based organizations. And then when you will be recognized, you will get chance. Then you have to express how much you are aware, how much confidence, how much knowledge you have in that. Then you get the opportunity. Otherwise, no. Within being in an organization, service based organization at least, because product based organization, you will not get that kind of opportunity. In service based organization, if you join another domain project, but if you're also having skills of the financial based, you can also get chance sooner or later in that kind of domain projects. But डेफिनेटली अगर आपके पास में नॉलेज नहीं है पहले से, तो आप भाई कहाँ से सीखोगे, ये तो मेरे लिए भी बिग क्वेश्चन है. अगर आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलेगी कहीं काम करने की, तो कहाँ से सीखोगे आप कितना गूगल पढ़ लोगे, जब तक आप उसको अप्लाई नहीं करोगे कहाँ से सीख पाओगे. ये तो मैं भी चैलेंज फेस कर रहा हूँ भाई, सीधी सी बात है. या तो जैसे हम लोग उस फेज में रहते हैं, हमने अपना बीटेक किया या एमसीए किया, बीसीए किया, और इसके बाद सीधे हमने कुछ फाइनेंशियल मैनेजमेंट का कोर्स कर लिया होता, तो एक डिफरेंट हमारे पास में अपॉर्चुनिटी होती, क्योंकि हमारे पास 1 या 2 साल डेडिकेटेड होता जहाँ हम लर्न करते. तो अब उतना इतना टाइम और एफर्ट अब डालने का कैसे होगा, मेरे को नहीं मालूम है यार. ठीक है. अर्जुन, हाय, थैंक्स फॉर ज्वाइनिंग. इफ इफ व्हेन क्या लिखा है आपने, इफ व्हेन दोनों चीज कैसे लिखोगे एक साथ यार. If we are working on a sprint, so I dev take So debt takes leaves. So I debt takes, so it's during the sprint planning you ask, basically this is a very good question, and you have to do this upfront during the sprint planning itself. Boss, what is the capacity for this sprint? So you have to capture that each of your members capacity. So one developer said I am available full capacity, it means 10 days, 10 into 6 into 60 hours. You have to mark that in the Rally or Jira, wherever, whatever the tool you are using. Okay, if said, oh no, in this week I have a 2 planned leaves, so it means what? You will be having only 8 working, means 48 hours only per day, 6 hours considering. Okay, that in based on that capacity you can plan how many stories you can take up into the sprint. Correct. With the full capacity, if you can take up 40 sprint, 40 story point related stories, but based on your capacity, you can only take up 30 story point related stories. Instead of 6 stories, you can take up only 4 now. So that you have to do during the sprint planning, not in the middle of time. Okay. Ad hoc, people can go on leave because of health issues. Nobody can stop that, right? That's a practical. Nobody can stop that. What do you have to do? Simply that particular story will spill over into the next one, or whatever task you can complete corresponding to that story in this sprint, you mark them complete at the end of the sprint. Rest of the task you can split. Okay, two approaches. If none of the task has been done for the story, you have to spill over or remove from this sprint, park it for the next sprint. If some of the task has been done, you need to split by end of the sprint. After a sprint demo, you do the right refinement end of the day of that. So at that time you can do this exercise, or during the next sprint planning time you can do whatever stories are done, successfully completed, achieved, you close them, rest of you can spill or split. Dhruvik, hi Dhruvik, how to gather requirements if we are working on new domain? Very nice question यार. तो इसका इसको कैसे कैसे करेंगे हम लोग? अब मैं एग्जांपल लेता हूँ बैंकिंग का ही. मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल आई थिंक today live, including me, don't have a banking domain experience because I didn't get opportunity in that domain. How do, but if we get, how do we start that? Okay. So first of all, whoever is your existing team members, you can definitely start talking to them. Start talking to them about what is the current stage of that project, where we are today. Is it we are in middle of, or we are going to start from scratch? If it is from scratch, it's a very good, we can go and start talking to our client in terms of a functional only. You can tell, boss, I am here to collect the function requirement. The function requirement means what? They say they need a debit card services. So whenever the debit card is been swiped, the pin should be asked. Then pin should be validated with the core system where the pin is being stored for the authentication purpose. If it is found valid, then only then it will start checking whether the entered amount is available in that person account or not. If it is available, that's another validation it has to perform. And then if it is available, then it can allow and send that money to the seller account. So that seller account might be already there, right? They have already internally connected, right? Because that's why they are using that swipe machine, right? They have already done this process. So think about perspective. You can clear your what you can clear your stand, clear your what you are going to do with them. Okay, so they cannot start talking so much technical thing which is very swift and all, they cannot talk about because you don't know. Okay, in that case, if you find the client talks in that way, you always bring the kind of SME from your side, or some senior developer who already having experience, or your project manager who already well versed such kind of projects. You can start going for few weeks, few months along with your these supporting hands while you're going for the client interaction for requirement gathering. Okay, you cannot do alone in that case. If the talk is straightforward, so much technical in the banking sector point of view, you will not understand. You cannot cross question. You cannot correlate what they are talking. You might be simply recording, but doesn't matter, right? Because same when you're discussing something, you have to understand what they are saying. You have to same time do some analysis and fire some more relevant questions. So your sentence will be more refined outcome. Correct. Uh, I hope Dhruvik I answered you right. Yes, good. Arjun Singh, explain definition of ready, definition of done. Very nice. Nowadays, in every interview, at least if it is for the Agile Scrum process, they will ask this question. I ask this question to my candidates when I was taking interviews. Okay. So definition of ready. See, by name is itself explaining. Definition of ready means when your is when your story are ready to groom with your team. So, do you have enough information in your story so that you can go and groom with your team? When I say team, it's a developer, QA, a DBA, or whatever, whoever was Scrum Master, everybody will be there, right? What is that meaning of ready? You will be having a clearly stated out user story, title, the user story. As a user, I want to do this is the basic thing. If you can little bit put some then description, otherwise not necessary, directly you can jump on the acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria should be very nicely written, very crisp and very clean. It should be written, and all the supporting wireframes if it is required, database field level information if it is required, what data types, what field min and max values, when where care, whatever you see, drop down values, where it will come from, everything you have to put in that story under acceptance criteria, and then you validate with yourself whether this story is self-explanatory or not. If it is, you are ready for grooming, and that is called definition of ready. One more important parameter definition of ready is your story should be sliced in a minimum minute format so that it should not cause a dependency on any other story. It should be independent. It can be achievable within one sprint. These are some parameters. Okay, invest, right? Independent something is there, we call it, yeah. But logically I'm telling you these things, and then when you groom these stories with your team, if they have any questions which you missed out, you have not answered, you can pull out that story from your sprint, put into the backlog. You cannot groom because you don't have some answers which your team is having, and you see yes there is a gap. You cannot go with that story. Okay, when everything is clear to your teams, it means it is nice to pick up for your sprint and development and all. Definition of done. Definition of done means each and every your acceptance criteria is meeting or not. So developer did that development, it host on the QA environment. QA also did that development testing. Sorry, okay, and they have said yes, it is pass. Every test case is pass. As a business analyst, product owner, you also need to validate. You don't need to refer basically to the acceptance criteria because you have written, so you know better anybody. So keep in mind what you are validating, validate that it is meeting all the scenarios or not. If you realize any scenario is missed out in this scenario, you can create another story and put into the backlog. Not a problem, because this is what the Agile Scrum. You keep on realizing the things, and then keep on adding, making the best solution. The objective is what? Making a perfect solution, perfect system. Okay. So if anything is missed out, no problem. We can call out in the in the sprint demo with the client, or we have developed this thing, but I think this is the another valid scenario which we have not covered, and I'm going to create a new story. Client will never say no. He will say yes, please do that. Okay. And a sprint demo also, if the client is also specifically how is that or something is missed out, we can also note down, send that MOM, create another story along with that MOM, and address into the very next sprint. Okay. So definition of a done, where the your all acceptance criteria are ready, and then you have validated, tested, it's for all working, and it is ready to ship to your incremental, with the production, you can ship it to the production. Okay, that's all the definition of ready. If it is failing any of the environment, if it is failing at the non-functional NFR testing or SIT testing, some of the, it means it is not done. You cannot ship to the production, right? So it means it's not done. So you can continue that sprint, spill over into the next sprint. You can create some more tasks. Please kindly validate more closely on the SIT environment or something like that. Raj, yes. Can you give an example? MySQL query business analyst use very simple भैया. जैसे कि मैं बताऊं आपको, आपको जैसे कि आपको देखना, देखो टेस्टिंग के टाइम में तो आएगा काम ये पक्का, कि आप देखना चाह रहे हो कि आपका डेटा जो फ्रंट एंड से बैक एंड में सही से सेव हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है. The primary keys are being generated or not, how that foreign key is being captured in the database table or not, what kind of the values are going into the right column or not. This is all you can do. But when you have to do some analysis, data analysis, which require you have to write, join lot of tables, and then perform some analysis based on the SQL query output data, it's a different case. Okay, that sort of calling was data analytics team, which is Flipkart, Amazon. These people will do that. They spend whole time in that only. There is no front end work. There is a separate team, but the maximum work goes in that way. The feedbacks also been going to capture in the system backend only, right? So how you will read out the feedbacks or the customer is giving? He's raising any concern. How will get that? So every against customer ID, these things will be recorded in the backend. You have to pull it out. You have to analyze that, and it will come out the happiness meter, the vibes of the customer, how they are happy with your product, how they are happy to shopping on your platform. Is are they getting the right content? Suppose they logged in, they spend 10 minutes or 15 minutes of time. It means, and there's something put into the cart, and then they did the shopping. It means your system is facilitating client very well. They are able to find the right things, and they are able to pull into the cart. They are making a shopping. It means you're perfect. Your system is perfect for that customer. For that customer only. Your system might not perfect for any other customer. He's coming and he's not doing any shopping. He's going off. He's coming again, not doing. It means he is what he's looking for. He's not able to find. So it means you have to customize that customer login dashboard in the way what he's looking for. You can do some artificial intelligence and pull it out. Okay. So business analyst, normal users, simple queries, select queries, you can pull it out and then see whether the data has been captured properly or not from your front end to back end. Or system integration also, the data is being captured from other system in your system is perfectly coming or not. That's a very simple use. But data analytics, there is a lot of scope. There is a lot of work. Okay, good. I hope I answered, Raj, right? What is the next one, Thruvik? How to represent business review to client or a customer? How to represent business review means what? Business review, are you saying sprint review? Please confirm me this. What do you mean by business review? Meanwhile, I'm taking the next question, okay? Arjun, story mapping and splitting. आज तुम बन के जाओगे पक्का, देखो स्प्रिंट का तुम एजाइल स्क्रम का परफेक्ट बन के जाओगे अर्जुन आज। स्टोरी मैपिंग, स्टोरी मैपिंग एंड स्प्लिटिंग। पहले तो स्टोरी मैपिंग किससे कर रहे हो आप, मुझे वो थोड़ा सा बताइए, आप क्या क्या कहना चाह रहे हो, स्टोरी मैपिंग किससे कर रहे हो आप? यूजर्स को टैग कर रहे हो, डेवलपर्स को, किससे मैप कर रहे हो आप कि कौन सा स्टोरी कौन सा स्प्रिंट में जाएगा, इसकी बात कर रहे हो, थोड़ा मुझे क्लियर करो। मीन वाली स्प्लिटिंग कब करता हूँ मैं आपको? देखिए स्प्लिटिंग कुछ नहीं होती है, जब स्टोरी के जो टास्क मैंने एक्सप्लेन किया था बिगिनिंग में भी, जब मैंने स्टोरी लिखी, डेवलपमेंट को दिया, कर डेवलपमेंट में गया वो, बट एंड ऑफ द टाइम 2 वीक्स को टाइम में जब हमारा स्प्रिंट डेमो था, हमने रियलाइज किया अरे भैया इसमें तो 6 टास्क बने थे, 4 टास्क हो गए हैं कंप्लीट, 2 टास्क इन प्रोग्रेस है। इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, हम लोग उस स्टोरी को क्लोज नहीं कर सकते, करेक्ट, कंप्लीटेड मार्क नहीं कर सकते, करेक्ट, एक्सेप्टेड मार्क नहीं कर सकते, करेक्ट। देन यू हैव टू split that story. There is a functionality in Rally on Jira everywhere, you can split that story. Then the non-completed task belong to that story will move into the next sprint. Very simple. So whatever the efforts you have, story points you have to make zero. That's the normal culture, I'm telling you. Sprint, you make the zero in the previous sprint for that story, make a zero story point efforts, and put whatever you planned earlier, that you put everything into the next one, the splitted one. So then in the next sprint grooming, the call, you will find out, do we need any other task in that story or not, or these are the things if we do, this story can be done. Do that analysis during the sprint planning and pull up in your next sprint and execute and development. Okay. स्टोरी मैपिंग डेवलपर है, हाँ, तो स्टोरी मैपिंग टू द डेवलपर. सो during your sprint planning you explain these stories, right? So you know this is the UI related story, that we have to develop a UI. It means what? It has to go your UI UX person, right, in your team. So you locate, suppose there are two UI UX, so you can ask boss, among of you who wants to pick up this one. So one person will say, "Oh, I will take it." Assign that, allocate that story to that. There is a development, there is a code or API development or code or backend thing. You will explain and then ask who wants to pick up. So based on the complexity, based on the priority, senior developer will pick the complex one, and the junior developer can pick some helping, some smaller stories. Okay, that's how you validate in the sprint planning. End of the time, what you have to make sure, that's a very important thing I'm telling you. End of the time, you have to make sure every team member, your scrum member, they should be having complete capacity full out. It means if it is developer, 10 into 6, right, I told you, na, 60-hour work they should be having. 60-hour work they should be having. What does it mean? It means their full capacity. If one of your team member is only having he is having 2 days leave in that sprint timeline, 2 weeks of timeline. Within that days, he is having 2 days leave. It means he's having a capacity of 48 hours. 8 into 6, 48 hours. So you have to make sure he is having 48 hours work. If any of the developer is having less work, it means you can pull up another story from your backlog and allocate that work also to that developer, so that he is also having full capacity work. That's the only thing. Okay. Mm, Raj, hi Raj. So how much we can expect a salary from fresher to the BA? Fresher का कोई लिमिट नहीं है यार. अच्छी कंपनी 4 लाख दे देती हैं, 5 लाख दे देती हैं. छोटी कंपनीज हैं 1 लाख, 1.5 लाख, 2 लाख, 2.5 लाख रुपए देती हैं. ठीक है ना. और अभी देखो, एक मेरा एक सामने रहते हैं यहाँ पे, उनका एक उनका उनके साढ़ू का लड़का, वो मुंबई में है, उसको फर्स्ट कंपनी ही मिली अमेजोन, फर्स्ट कंपनी उसका बीटेक के बाद. और उसको है 44 lakhs का पैकेज। देर इज नो लिमिट भैया। ओके, बेस्ड ऑन योर स्किल्स और किस कंपनी, कौन सी कंपनी हायर कर रही है आपको। अब आपको क्या लगता है, उस लड़के ने उसको, लड़का जो था उसने उसको 40 lakhs का कुछ उस एक्सपेक्टेड सीटीसी में उसने 42 lakhs में 44 lakhs मैसेज मेंशन किया होगा क्या? आपको लगता है कि किसी को लगता है अरे 44 lakhs मिल सकता है क्या फ्रेशर को? लेकिन वो कंपनी का स्टैंडर्ड होता है, उनका बजट होता है मेरे भाई। उनको बजट होता है, उनको देना ही देना है इतना पैसा। वो ये नहीं सोचेंगे कि तुम यार फ्रेशर हो, तुमको मैं इतना पैसा क्यों दूं। उनको देना है, उनका बजट है भाई। उनको बजट एंड ऑफ द डे सीनियर को देना होता है कि भाई देखो आपने इतना बजट दिया था, अपने रिसोर्सेज के में डाल दिया हमने पूरा बजट। यही यही पूरा खेल चलता है। कम बजट होता है तो कितना भी स्किल्स हो आपको पैसा देगी ही नहीं कंपनी। पूरा गंदा खेल है भाई यार, ठीक है ना। तो डिपेंड्स आप कौन सी कंपनी में ज्वाइन कर रहे हो, आपको वहां पर क्या स्किल सेट के आप बिल्कुल मैचिंग है, उनको बहुत ही हाईली नीड है। आप जितना मांगो उतना दे देंगे आपको, जितना मांगो उतना दे देंगे। आपके पास, उनके पास में नहीं है प्रोजेक्ट अभी लाइन अप, बट आपको एज ए बैकअप और हायर कर रहे हो। वो हो सकता है आपको 2-3 लाख रुपए ही दे पाएंगे, वो उनका बजट होगा, वो बोलेंगे हमारा बजट इतना ही है, ठीक है ना। तो ये बहुत वेरी करता है भाई यार, बहुत ही वोलेटाइल है ये, बहुत ज्यादा। ए आदिल भाई, थैंक्स फॉर ज्वाइनिंग। व्हाट आर मॉस्को एंड सॉर्ट एंड कैन बी यूज। हाँ, मॉस्को हम लोग यूज करते हैं ना ये रिक्वायरमेंट प्रायोरिटाइजेशन के लिए। तो यूजर स्टोरी है हमारी, व्हाट इज मस्ट शुड कुड वुड। इसका मतलब होता है मस्ट शुड कुड वुड। तो मस्ट मतलब जो स्टोरीज आपको 100% लगता है कि भाई ये तो हमको क्लाइंट को चाहिए ही चाहिए, ये चीज, ये एनालिसिस आप क्लाइंट के साथ बैठ के कर सकते हो, या आप अपने आप से कर लो और क्लाइंट से कंफर्मेशन ले लो। जैसे 10 स्टोरी है, 10 यूजर स्टोरी, उन स्टोरी के सामने कॉलम लिखो, प्रायोरिटी वहां पे लिखो। ये वाला स्टोरी अरे यार ये है तो अच्छा, लेकिन अगर हम नेक्स्ट स्प्रिंट में भी करेंगे तो चलेगा काम, उसको वुड कर दो, डब्लू लिख दो या वुड लिख दो। कोई स्टोरी है नहीं, वो भाई चाहिए ही चाहिए। क्लाइंट ने पिछली बार भी बोला था, आप सोच रहे हो, आप पिछली बार बोला था यार क्लाइंट ने ये चाहिए, तो आपको मालूम है, आप उसको उसको मस्ट करो। ये कौन सा होता है ना, मस्ट, एम एम लिख दो वहां पे। मस्ट मतलब इसी स्प्रिंट में करके देना ही देना है। और अगर आपको लगता है कि आपके पास में रिसोर्सेस कम है तो और रिसोर्सेस कर लो, लेकिन दो उसको करके। आप वहां पर ये कंप्रोमाइज कर सकते हो कि 4 डेवलपर आप एक ही स्टोरी पे लगा दो, रादर देन आप 5 स्टोरीज कर रहे हो स्प्रिंट में। लेकिन अगर वो स्टोरी बड़ी है और उसको करके देना है, तो बाकी स्टोरीज को ड्रॉप आउट कर दो, डीप्रायोरिटाइज कर दो, और इस वाले को करके पूरा डिलीवर कर दो, ठीक है ना। तो वो होता है मस्ट, ठीक है ना। तो मस्ट शुड कुड, शुड क्या रहेगा, ठीक है चाहिए हमको, बट वो नेक्स्ट स्प्रिंट में मिलेगा तो भी चलेगा, अगर स्प्रिंट में करके दे दोगे तो अच्छा है, वो नुकसान नहीं है। कुड क्या है, ये पॉसिबिलिटी है, ये अच्छा है यार, ये रिक्वायरमेंट अच्छा है, हम लोग ये स्टोरी, लेकिन ये पर्टिकुलर स्प्रिंट में इतना कोई इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, हमारे पास अदर अदर प्रायोरिटीज हैं, मस्ट और शुड वाली। तो कुड वाली लेस प्रायोरिटी रहती है। और वुड का होता है काइंड ऑफ, क्लाइंट को भी नहीं चाहिए, काइंड ऑफ गुड एंड फील, एक लोगो लगा दें साहब यहाँ पे, ये कलर चेंज कर दें, ये फॉन्ट चेंज कर दें, उससे कोई उनका बिजनेस इम्पैक्ट नहीं हो रहा है। तो आप वुड वाली कैटेगरी की स्टोरीज को एंड ऑफ द डे भी करोगे, 5-6 स्प्रिंट के बाद में कभी टाइम मिलेगा तो भी चलेगा क्लाइंट को। तो वो वाली स्टोरीज को हम लोग वुड में रख देते हैं, ठीक है। स्वाट क्या होता है, ये इंटरप्राइज एनालिसिस के लिए हम लोग यूज करते हैं, स्ट्रेंथ, वीकनेस, अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड थ्रेट्स। कहाँ पे यूज करते हैं, जब हम फर्स्ट टाइम रिक्वायरमेंट गैदरिंग के लिए जाते हैं तो क्लाइंट से समझते हैं कि उनकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो है, उनकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की क्या स्ट्रेंथ है, व्हाट दे आर एक्सपर्ट, व्हाट दे आर पायनियर इन दैट बिजनेस, हाउ दे आर डूइंग, देन व्हाट इज देयर स्ट्रेंथ हो गया, वीकनेस क्या क्या है उनकी, वो कहाँ पे फॉल कर रहे हैं, उनका फिनेंस मॉडल अच्छा नहीं है, उनके जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है हो रही है उनकी क्वालिटी अच्छी नहीं आ रही है, ठीक है ना, उनको क्वालिटी अच्छी नहीं मिल रही है, बहुत सारे कस्टमर कंप्लेन्स आ रहे हैं, उनके प्रोडक्ट के रिलेटेड या उनकी सर्विसेज के रिलेटेड, तो ये हमारी हो गई क्या, ये हमारी हो गई वीकनेस। और आपको मैं बता दूं, ये दो चीज पे पूरा गेम है। स्ट्रेंथ जो है वो कंटिन्यू रहनी चाहिए, और वीकनेस पे आपको काम करना पड़ेगा। तो वीकनेस आप फोकस करोगे कि क्या इम्प्रोवाइजेशन चाहिए। अब वो जो टू बी प्रोसेस बनाते हो ना, एज इज प्रोसेस टू बी प्रोसेस, वो टू बी प्रोसेस इसी पे बनता है। तो क्या हम करें कि उसका जो वीकनेस है वो स्लोली का कम हो जाए और उसकी वो कन्वर्ट हो जाए एज ए स्ट्रेंथ में, ये चीज होती है। तो यहाँ पर बिजनेस एनालिस्ट अपना पूरा फोकस अटेंशन देता है। अपॉर्चुनिटीज ऐसी और क्या चीज है जिसको हम अपने सिस्टम में लेके आए, अपने ऑपरेशनलाइजेशन में लेके आए, अपने ऑपरेशंस में, कि उसके वजह से हमको और रेवेन्यू बढ़े, हमारे कस्टमर बढ़े, कस्टमर सेटिस्फैक्शन बढ़े। ऐसा क्या, जैसे कि एग्जांपल बताता हूं। अब स्विगी है, स्विगी ने एग्जाम सोचो आप कि उसने खाली फूड ऑर्डर का और इसका दिया होता, मेनू दिखता, आप ऑर्डर कर देते और वो लाके घर में डिलीवर कर जाता, जो भी 30 मिनट लग रहे हैं, 45 मिनट लग रहे हैं। लेकिन उसने क्या किया, अपॉर्चुनिटी, उसने गूगल जीआईएस मैप के साथ में इंटीग्रेशन किया, और आप ये ट्रैक कर सकते हो कि आप वो बंदा स्विगी का वो कहाँ तक पहुंचा है, वो किस रास्ते से आ रहा है, कहाँ पहुंचा है, कहाँ खड़ा हुआ है, वो कहाँ कहाँ पर कितना टाइम वो से खड़ा हुआ, आगे मूव नहीं कर रहा है। तो आप कहोगे यार क्या कर रहा है, आप उसको क्वेश्चन कर सकते हो फोन करके, भाई आप वहां क्यों खड़े हो, या तो रास्ता ढूंढ रहे हो, या कोई बदमाशी करने की कोशिश कर रहे हो, कुछ भी हो सकता है। तो आप क्या कर रहे हो, तो आप क्वेश्चन, ये क्या होती है, इनहेंसमेंट होती है, अपॉर्चुनिटीज बढ़ गई, आपका कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस बढ़ गया, एक्सपीरियंस बढ़ने से आपका रेवेन्यू बढ़ गया, सिंपल है। तो ये अपॉर्चुनिटीज होती हैं। थ्रेट्स होती हैं, थ्रेट्स क्या है भैया, थ्रेट्स होती हैं, अब कोई कॉम्पिटिटर है, उस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का कोई कॉम्पिटिटर है, उस कॉम्पिटिटर में के सिस्टम में, उनके प्रोसेस में ऐसी क्या चीजें हैं कि आप उनसे थोड़ा फॉल बैक कर रहे हो। या आप ऐसे समझो, इस आपकी जो क्लाइंट की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, इसके कॉम्पिटिटर कौन है, और इनके कौन पॉलिटिकल थ्रेट्स हैं, कौन लोकल बॉडी में उनको कौन थ्रेट्स है। थ्रेट्स में वो गुंडा मवाली वाली बात नहीं कर रहा हूं। थ्रेट्स हो सकते हैं जैसे कि इनका कॉम्प्लायंस वीक है, इनकी जो जीडीपीआर कुछ कॉम्प्लायंसेस होती हैं वो वीक है। इसकी वजह से क्या हो रहा है, इनके पास बहुत सारे इनकम टैक्स रेट पड़ रही हैं, या ऑडिट के बहुत सारे इनके नेगेटिव फीडबैक आ रहे हैं ऑडिट्स वगैरह में। तो उससे क्या रहेगा, इनको कॉम्प्लायंस सुधारने का लिए हमारे को उनको क्या करना पड़ेगा, ये थ्रेट्स को रिमूव करना पड़ेगा, थ्रेट्स हमको रिमूव करने पड़ेंगे, तभी हम लोग उसको कहेंगे कि हाँ भाई आप अब बढ़िया हो। तो ये एनालिसिस आप करके देना पड़ेगा। हम उनसे ही पूछेंगे भाई क्या है, आप क्या क्या लगता है, आपके क्या क्या थ्रेट्स हैं, आपके क्या क्यों कहाँ पे मिस कर रहे हो आप, क्या है आप, आपको किन से खतरा है, आपके कॉम्पिटिटर्स कौन है, आप कॉम्पिटिटर से कहाँ पे लैग कर रहे हो, आप डिमांड सेल में कर रहे हो लैग की, आपके आपके आपको बढ़ने नहीं दे रहे हैं बिकॉज ऑफ दे हैव कैप्चर्ड द मैक्सिमम मार्केट, व्हाट इज दैट। These all questions you can ask, capture it, discuss with your internal team, your management team, and figure it out what the things you can bring out to the table so that you can remove those threats. You can describe those kind of things. Okay, so these are we do in the SWOT analysis. Okay, enterprise level. Okay, Dhruv, it is like monthly business review or quarter business review. If you have a product or customer service, how do you show the optimization of optimizing their business? तो ये देखियो, मैं पहले बता दूं, बिजनेस एनालिस्ट जनरली इसमें फॉल करता नहीं है। ये जनरली बिजनेस एनालिस्ट का काम नहीं है, ये मार्केटिंग सेल्स पीपल का काम होता है भाई। देखो, बिजनेस एनालिस्ट क्या है, उसका अगर कुछ सॉफ्टवेयर के जरिए कुछ हेल्प हो रही है तो सॉफ्टवेयर बना के दे देगा भाई, कि हाँ आपको भाई आपका प्रोडक्शन का कितना खर्चा आ रहा था आपको मालूम नहीं चल रहा था, पहले आपको जाना पड़ रहा था हर डिपार्टमेंट में पूछने के लिए, लेजर से चेक करके दे रहे थे। हमने आपको सिस्टम बना के दे दिया, इन यू आर जस्ट वन क्लिक अवे, यू विल गेट दैट रिपोर्ट, सिंपल। दैट्स हाउ यू कैन इम्प्रूव द कस्टमर, ओके। और ये बिजनेस रिव्यू क्वार्टरली होन दो, एनुअल होन दो या हाफ ईयरली होन दो, डजंट मैटर, ओके। बट इफ इट इज रियली यू आर गेटिंग सम काइंड ऑफ फीडबैक्स फ्रॉम देम, what kind of you think about your requirement perspective only, boss. Think about it, what is that solution, software solution, system solution you can provide, think in that way only, okay. And it is somehow the question, I think, Dhruvik, you're related to the sales marketing people, I believe, okay. Hey Chandrasekhar, thanks for joining. Time allows you to brief on the scrum ceremony. Okay, I will give brief. I've created a separate video here, boss, please go through that. Actually, what is happening, there are a lot of videos there I have created, you should be go and watch. Yeah, this will definitely improve your knowledge, okay. Let me brief it out for you. Scrum ceremony, scrum planning, the grooming. I will start with the grooming session. I'm assuming you will be having the backlog, then you will be doing the grooming. And then grooming, you will be having a question answers, and you will sort out of those questions, okay. And if you have to modify your stories, you have to do that. Later you will do the sprint planning, where they do the allocations and all that, to the team members and everything, right? Once you do that allocations, team will start doing the development, okay. So three steps I've told so far: the grooming, the planning, the sprint ceremony means there's development, and then testing, and then the sprint demo. Sprint demo you do with your POs or with your client. You take the feedback, create some stories for the feedback. Next sprint you can accommodate. Okay, now sprint retro is an important thing that you do with your internal team, your scrum team. Then you capture what you want to do, what you want to continue. Is there any something is obstacling you, is not able to performing you full pace? What is that? Okay, and in issues you found. So these are few things you ask with your team members. They will tell you, and Scrum Master and Business Analyst product owner together has to resolve those things. Okay. After a sprint demo, sprint retro done, na, so this is the one full cycle. Another cycle is start again: grooming, planning, sprint development, testing, sprint demo, retro. These all keep on going till your project end. Okay. Hey Geeta, thanks for joining. Your second question. What was the first question? What is the time you feel you're giving up in the project? What does it mean? What is the time when you feel like giving up in? ऐसा नहीं सोचना है एक्चुअली, क्योंकि हमको रखा ही इसलिए गया है ना प्रोजेक्ट में कि हम उनका जो प्रोजेक्ट है उसको मैक्सिमम रिफाइन करके उनको डिलीवर करें क्लाइंट को। गिव अप क्या है? गिव अप, अगर आप गिव अप इस चीज पे करोगे तो देयर मस्ट बी लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स इन योर लाइफ आल्सो। इफ इट इज नॉट बीइंग हैंडल यू विल गिव अप। सी यू आर डूइंग अ जॉब, सैलरी बेस्ड जॉब। If a project manager company is asking you to put your best efforts on that project, you cannot say you are giving up. You cannot say. You can escalate, you can highlight your pain points, your obstacles, the problems you are facing with the project manager. The project manager will try to handle that. If he's also not, then he will vice president level, these people. Just keep on. Okay. Then it seems if the client is problematic, client is not sticking the requirement, client is not helping you to understand the requirement, and is expecting something in his mind, and you're expecting you will read his mind and deliver something, then it's something very risky. It's a very difficult project. Then you have to escalate these things to your project manager. There is no word give up in this one. Okay, only you can just highlight, escalate these things. Okay. Okay, interview. Okay, I don't know what kind of questions these days are asking. Yeah, but yes, you got right point. The giving up is something not. You cannot say I will be giving up from this project. No, uh, uh, you just need to highlight your pain points with your project manager, and they will take it up. If they also cannot resolve, they will escalate to their senior levels. If they also cannot, it means it's a kind of problem with the project, kind of statement of work, or the kind of agreement. It means there is a problem in that one. So they will sort it out. If they sort it out, it's okay. you will see the more client is more interacting with you, it's helping you to understand the requirement. Otherwise, simply project contract will be terminated and you will be assigned to any project. Simple. Okay. So you have to just escalate it to your next level. That simple thing you have to do. Okay. That this thing you can answer to that interviewer if you anybody else also face this kind of question. Okay. Another question: if you have 200 tickets in backlog, how do you do? How do you work on that? So I told you the simple question. The Moscow. I just explained the Moscow technique. So you can sit with your client, figure it out of these 100 of top 50, what is your priority work, or you discuss with the client, figure it out what do you want to look first. He want to look a login, he want to look a dashboard first. So why you will be start developing a particular module level requirement in the left menu options, right? What you will start, if client is willing to see the dashboard first, it means the dashboard related user story is the priority, and users pull up all those dashboard related stories items from your backlog, again sit with client, out of this what do you want to do. Or you can do self analysis based on the Moscow technique to develop this dashboard. What are the stories should be taken up in the first sprint, what stories can go in the subsequent sprints, based on the, so that there will be no dependencies, each story can be dependent delivered independently. Okay, that analysis you can do based on your understanding, because you're a product owner or a business analyst, right? So Moscow technique is the best thing. Okay, but you need to figure it out high level. Client is looking for what first. Okay, I hope I answered the question. Yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah. Mayank, I mean, is the customer success basically BA for product based company? Yes. I mean, the customer success, it's 100% is a professional relation with the business analyst. So he's looking for a software system which he thinks their system will get improved after that, right? So it means he's depending on your vision, how much you are getting his pain areas, how much you are understanding his pains, and how much you are capable to convert that pain into a happiness. How? With your software solution. So as long as you are able to find out the pain areas, is that's the key point actually. Okay. Suc- Sorry, I mean customer success manager profile. Customer success manager profile. It's kind of a project manager profile, yeah. Same thing. A business analyst also can go in that way, but it's kind of a managerial. It will not work directly on the sprint with the teams, your technical teams or Scrum teams, right? It will be just engaging with the customer, figuring out their problem areas, and passing it to you. I mean, business analyst, boss, go and analyze these pain areas and come up with some approach. Okay, that approach he will take it to the client. He will ask, boss, are you happy? This is the approach we are coming up forward, and he will make client understand this is the pain area. If you come up with this way we can resolve this. With this the best fit solution for you. So client will say, okay, that looks good. Go ahead, do that. That's how customer success. It's kind of a name only. Okay, it's kind of a PM role only. Okay, is a BA for product based company. BA also work in a product-based organization. What is the harm in that? Okay, if you are having a normal agile Scrum process, there is a BA for role. They will give you a BA role. If there is a scaled agile process, portfolio safe model, they will give you a PO role, product owner role. Okay, so product owner and business analyst both are same in a for any organization actually. Only difference in PE and BO are if you are directly interacting with client, understanding the requirement, talking to your team, delivering that requirement to the client, sprint demos and all directly to the client, it means you are a BA. But if there is a PO, client side PO. Client appointed one PO. Client has appointed one product owner. And he said, boss, you interact with this PO. We have appointed one PO. Please interact with him. We will give our requirement to this PO and PO will give it to you. What does it mean? From our side, it could be BA who will be talking to that PO, or a role of PO also can talk to that PO. So never change. The meaning never change. It's a matter of you are interacting with the directly with the client or any appointed person from the client side. It doesn't matter basically. What we need a requirement. It's directly client is giving to us or it is coming through a PO, client side PO. Okay. So, but our side B and PO are same. I'm telling you. Don't confuse. In a service-based organizations, also BA PO roles are there. It's the same thing, yeah. I don't know what is the confusion. There is no difference. See, not a single point difference. Okay. PSPO Chandra, which is Scrum certification better with. I think PSPO is good, but PSPO is good for service-based organization. Safe POPM is good for product-based organization. Please write it down somewhere. This is for sure. So safe POPM maximum organization, product-based organization following a portfolio safe model, scaled agile process. So you have to have this safe POPM certification. If it is a service-based organization, 99% they're following normal agile scrum process, and you can go with the this one PSPO. That is the essential safe model, normal agile scrum process. Okay. Next question, interviewer ask, have you ever done integration testing? I think Geeta, I have answered this question beginning of this live session. Okay, so in later point of time, you can go ahead and check it. I have explained thoroughly what does this mean. Okay. Sorry, interviewer asked me the question. Okay, sorry, I mean customer. What is the next question? And how do you? How do you when your stories refine for a Scrum team during the grooming itself? You can do that refinement, right? Grooming is for what? Grooming is for to take the stories, explain them to the team, and then you find out any gaps are there or not, because you don't feel you know everything. There's some kind of inputs also comes from the Scrum team also, and you have to respect that. Okay. So something you can take input from your team as well during the grooming, and you can refine your stories. Okay. Another chance you will get during your sprint demo. It means then you will not refine, basically you will create a new story based on that input. Okay. Next question, they ask me, however you work on the API based design before, what is the benefit API give you? I think last session was on basically on that, Geeta. Okay, just go through that whole API model and everything I have given. Why we use the API, how you use the API. Okay, that I have given. If you still feel any question, you can write me. Okay, I will in next session I will answer that. Okay, and your integration testing requirement I have given within this live session, the initial minutes I have given that. Please go that. Okay. ओके ग्रेट, थैंक यू। आई थिंक मैं थक गया हूँ भाई बोलते बोलते। आज के लिए इतना ही, मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीक। और आप जो क्वेश्चंस हैं उसको आप मुझे पोस्ट करके रखिए, सो दैट कि मैं नेक्स्ट टाइम आऊँ तो डायरेक्टली उन क्वेश्चंस पे जंप कर सकते हैं। ठीक है ना? तो मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीक। आप आइए और कीप लर्निंग गाइस। ओके, और अपने दोस्तों को शेयर कीजिए। ठीक है ना? उनको भी लेके आइए, उनको भी हेल्प हो। ठीक है, चलिए मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीक। ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट फॉर द पीपल हु आर लुकिंग फॉर द जॉब्स एंड ऑल दैट और वांट टू सेटल इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस। थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक यू वेरी मच गाइस, हैव अ नाइस वीकेंड।